Day 4, Genesis 25:32. The struggle and God's blessing. Welcome back to our Bible study. Today we continue in Genesis, exploring stories full of decisions, faith, and blessings. Let's continue together, discovering how God works throughout the history of his people. The story of Jacob and Esau is one of the most fascinating in Genesis. It shows us how decisions, dreams, and God's blessings can change the destiny of an entire family. Isaac, the son of Abraham, was already older and about to pass the family blessing to the next generation. Esau, the firstborn, was a strong man and a skilled hunter. Jacob, his younger brother, was quieter and spent more time at home. However, God already had a plan for both of them. Even before birth, their lives were marked by struggle. The scripture tells us that even in the womb, the brothers moved and wrestled. This symbolizes that their destinies would be intertwined with challenges and opportunities. As they grew, Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of lentil stew. This moment reminds us that our decisions, even small ones, can have deep consequences. It shows that impulsiveness and lack of patience can affect not only our present, but also our future. Jacob, with the help of his mother Rebekah, received Isaac's blessing through an act of cleverness. This does not mean Jacob was perfect, nor that God approves deceit. Even amid human mistakes, he fulfills his promises and directs history according to his plan. Later, Jacob flees and faces numerous challenges. He works many years for Laban, experiences deceit, but also receives dreams and signs from God. These signs strengthen him and show that God continues to guide his life. During these years, Jacob also learns the importance of patience and perseverance. Every obstacle on his path prepares him for the purpose God has for him. We learn that spiritual life requires endurance and trust in God's plan. One of the most important moments is his struggle with a man during the night. Many interpret this encounter as a moment with God himself. There, Jacob receives a new name, Israel, the one who struggles with God and with men and prevails. This change symbolizes transformation, perseverance, and blessing. At the end of this story, we see that God's blessings and plans are greater than any human mistake. God always fulfills his promises even when the path is difficult. He transforms our lives to accomplish his purpose. Each character reminds us that faith, patience, and obedience to God are essential. He can use any circumstance to make his plan come true. The story also teaches us the importance of family, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Despite conflicts, God offers opportunities to restore relationships. God fulfills his purpose even amid family tensions. Reflecting on the life of Jacob and Esau, we see how God can take our decisions, our struggles, and our mistakes. He turns them into blessings that transcend generations. Every step of their story invites us to examine our own lives. It reminds us that nothing escapes God's plan. Esau represents impulsiveness and lack of foresight. His selling of the birthright is a reminder to value what God gives us. Jacob represents cleverness, patience, and faith in God's promises. Although his path was not without mistakes and trials, when Jacob faces Laban, he experiences deceit similar to what he had practiced himself. This teaches him humility and the need to trust God more than his own abilities. During these years, Jacob also learns about hard work and perseverance. Keeping his faith strong amid adversity becomes his main guide. Throughout the entire story, God demonstrates that his plan is greater than any human mistake. Even circumstances that seem unfair are part of his purpose. The dreams Jacob receives remind him that God is present, guiding and protecting him. The moment of the night struggle symbolizes confronting our own limitations and God himself. Jacob learns to rely completely on him. Receiving a new name, Israel, changes his identity and destiny. When we encounter God, our lives can be radically transformed. This story also reminds us of the importance of family reconciliation. Even amid conflict, God can restore relationships. Every episode invites us to reflect on our own decisions, how we face difficulties, and how we seek God's blessing. God can take our struggles and turn them into opportunities for growth. Jacob's challenges teach us that spiritual growth comes through trials. Studying these stories helps us see how God uses ordinary people's lives to reveal his extraordinary plan The blessing Jacob received was not just material. It was a call to be part of God's plan, to carry forward the promise made to Abraham. Each generation has a role in God's story. The life of Jacob and Esau reminds us that we are all part of a plan greater than our own lives. When we face challenges, we can struggle, fall, and rise again, trusting in God. The story also teaches forgiveness and reconciliation. Even though there were conflicts, God offers opportunities for restoration. Jacob's faith was not perfect, but his persistence and trust in God led him to receive blessings. Every decision taken invites us to examine our own life. Reflect on how we trust God amid challenges. Even when human actions seem to complicate plans, God always fulfills his purpose. Studying Genesis reminds us that our struggles and decisions are opportunities to grow spiritually. Jacob and Esau show contrasts: impulsiveness and patience, cleverness and faith, conflict and reconciliation. Each Bible story reflects lessons applicable to our daily lives. It is important to value family, faith, and the blessings God gives us. Every trial and difficulty has a purpose in his plan. God acts even when we do not understand the path. The story of Jacob and Esau teaches us to trust God despite mistakes, to value patience, perseverance, and obedience. God transforms our lives when we surrender to his guidance. Every step of the story invites us to reflect on our choices, on how our decisions affect our present and future. God can turn any mistake into a blessing. Jacob's night struggle symbolizes our own struggle with doubts and fears. It reminds us that God strengthens those who persevere. Israel, his new name, symbolizes transformation and blessing. Finally, the story inspires us to maintain faith and hope amid challenges. God fulfills his promises even when we do not understand the plan. His guidance and protection are constant throughout our lives. We can also learn from how Jacob learned to forgive and seek reconciliation. Sometimes, God allows us to face difficulties to teach lessons of humility and patience. These experiences prepare us to receive greater blessings. Meditating on this story, let us remember that every challenge, struggle, and moment of doubt can become an opportunity to draw closer to God. Our faith strengthens when we trust his plan, even when we do not understand all the details. God never abandons us and always has a greater purpose for our lives. Also, Jacob's life teaches us the importance of constant prayer. Even in moments of fear and difficulty, speaking with God and trusting him gives strength and clarity. A relationship with God is the true source of blessing and protection. We can apply these lessons in our own lives, seeking peace, reconciliation, and divine guidance in every decision we make. Every choice, every struggle, every step of faith brings us closer to fulfilling the purpose God has for us. Now we want to hear from you. Which decision of Jacob or Esau makes you reflect on your own choices in life? Leave us a comment, join our channel, Hello Bible in Action, and turn on the notification bell to keep learning and growing together in Bible study.